Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene is going to be set in the Green Dragon Mage Bar, wherein this eatery to another world, this place to dine that's so sublime, this place to drink where, let's face it, the next morning you'll need a sink. We will be joining a cadre of our mage darlings. Inside the bar, all of you who are interested will notice the fact that there is a new person who is sitting there. She is very calmly drinking, and she has a large book open in front of her, with a book bag right next to her. It is this young lady. And I will do your introductions from left to right. So the first up is Hyun.
Hyun will enter the bar. He's put the hoodie on. He kind of has the hood up now, or keeps it up now, given that his skin is kind of bluish. But he'll let it down as he enters the bar, and he'll just kind of find a table and sit.
All right. Next up we have Dougie Boy.
Douglas is in like a more open area of the bar. He seems slightly zoned out as he seems to be practicing some sort of dance.
What kind of dance?
I'm not sure how to describe. So basically, something that he would do on stage.
All right.
During one of his
Next up
many
we will have
shows.
next up we have Kathleen. You're up.
Wait, me?
Yes.
Oh. Kit is makes her way in. Seemingly on this side of town after running an errand and decided that she wanted to let her listen. And makes her way in and makes her a beeline directly for the bar.
Kobe beef.
Not now.
Wow.
Not now.
It quietens down. And last but not least, we have Roars.
Roros will be back to his usual colorful style of dress with the denim jacket with the rhinestones studded on it, and the mirrored like that rainbow colored hat with the mirrored bill on it, and jeans, and he's got his laptop case and his skateboard in his backpack with him, and he's actually brought Nazir with him this time. So,
Unlike the old bar, in order to get Nazir in, you actually have to invite him in while you're standing on the opposite side of the threshold, because this place has been warded out yin yang.
All right. Have I been told by D'Onofrio that it's okay to bring him in?
Yeah.
Okay. He's about 20 years old, Middle Eastern looking, short black hair. He'll turn to his friend and say, "Come on in, Nazir, it's okay." And Nazir will come in with him, and he looks like a Bedouin Sikh with gold eyes, right? Yeah, it's purple. It's gold and red and purple. Okay. Or is it gold and purple then? I'll remember at one point. But yeah, Nazir has golden eyes. So he'll walk up to the bar and take a seat, pull out his laptop, and look around to see if there's anybody there he knows. He recognizes Hyun and Douglas.
Question. His name's Roros, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
As he enters, he would hear Douglas go, "Oi, mate, that is a bouncing jacket."
Ross will throw up 2 thumbs up towards him and say, "I can get you one if you like. Just need to know your size."
Give me a few. I'll get that.
Can you give me actually Hyun? Can you give me a perception alertness roll as you walk to the bar?
Sure. Those are definitely things that I have on my sheet. What's the difficulty?
Standard.
Six successes.
Jesus Christ. Okay. The book that this woman is currently writing in is called Hyun Choi / Bok Choi. It's written on the spine in gold embossing.
I don't like that shit. Hyun's gonna try and play it cool for a minute. He'll just sit at the bar, give the sup nod to Roros.
I'll return the sup nod to my Cabal mate, and I'm going to watch him to make sure he didn't accidentally dislocate his head doing the sup nod.
You can see he's kind of worried about that too. Like he'll kind of grab the bottom of his chin and make sure everything's where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Then get the thumbs up.
Thumbs up will be returned.
On the side note, this Matthew guy knows literally nothing about Japanese mythology. Sorry, my professional pride got wounded there. It's fine. Yeah, continue. He did not, in fact, dislocate anything. Though you have noticed that when you click your fingers now, you might dislocate your thumb. It's really disconcerting. You have to pop it back in. Doesn't hurt, but
Just kind of annoying.
yeah. You don't want to ever try to do a pelvic thrust for fear.
All right. Hyun's gonna kind of just tap two fingers on the bar at Roros, and then kind of point at the book that the woman is writing in.
Boris is gonna look towards the woman in the book that she's writing in.
It says Hyun Choi / Bok. No, when you look at it, it says Roros Al Khazari in the book.
Boris is gonna look over to Nazir, and in Arabic he's going to say, "What is the title of that book?"
There's no book that I can see, Manson.
I'm going to look over to Yoon, and wide-eyed, head going back a little bit, kind of a what the fuck kind of look.
Hyun just kind of shrugs. And now it's time for the most important test of all. He's going to order a glass of whiskey neat. And then he's going to try and drink it and see what happens.
You drink it?
Does he feel the effects of it?
No. He's a bishop.
Rose is going to order a cream soda from the bar.
As I said, if any of the other of you look at the book, you will see that it has your name on the spine. For the record, the figure smiles looks down at the book, smiles, looks up at Hyun. She then turns the book around so that Hyun can see what's written on it.
He'll go ahead and look since he's kind of been found out.
Hyun was burning with curiosity as he looked over this figure, a figure whom he didn't know. ordering a drink, mostly in order to see if in his new state he could even enjoy the effects of alcohol. He was somewhat chagrined to find that this was not the case. Before, with a sardonic smile, the figure offered to show him what was in the book. It was with a harsh realization that he realized it was in fact recording him, noting down his very existence, down to his innermost thoughts, and just continues going.
John immediately begins to think non-existential thoughts.
Gunn attempted to block out such concerns from his mind. However, in doing so, it became only more and more gripping. The reality, the fact that regardless how much he tried to escape this, regardless how much he tried to sidestep its simple reality, he could not. For there on the page, glaring at him, was the cessation of his own thoughts. The fact that how can one be nothing when one has something written right there?
He just kind of sighs and turns away from the book.
She closes the book. Or rather, she doesn't close it, she brings it back down, so she's now writing in it again. For the record, when she was doing that, she wasn't writing, but you could see the text appearing. You could come and ask me about it rather than standing there.
Russ will look up from his laptop as the strange woman's finally speaking.
It's very nice to meet you, Yun Choi. It's very nice to meet you, Marcel Kazari.
Judging by the title of the book, it is not a surprise to me that you know my name. Pleasure to meet you as well, though I do not know what to call you.
She turns around the book. It was at this moment that Douglas entered and said her name out loud as he wished to get her attention.
Anna!
Yes, Douglas. He smiles knowingly.
I just noticed you were there. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. She puts the book down again. It is very nice to meet you, as I've said. I suppose that my full introduction should be in order, as I'm somewhat, I won't say, I've made this place my temporary home. It is very nice to meet you. My full name is Ananasi. I record stories.
Well, nice to meet you as well.
Can I make a spirit lore check on that?
You can make an occult check on that.
I also want to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
but my spirit lore is higher. Darn it.
Trush.
Difficulty?
Standard.
2 successes.
I only got one.
Both of you would know because it was only going to be a threshold one success. Ananasi is obviously a greater. It's debated if they're a spirit or deity who are worshipped by many Central African peoples as an entity and a keeper of stories, a god who favored tricks and wisdom as opposed to brute force, and tended to be able to finesse their way out of most problems. Also, little known fact about Ananasi, they're very famous to blend into their environment, which is why you assume she looks the way that she does currently.
I've heard tales of you. Never thought to meet you in person.
She smiles as she holds up the book and taps it, and I keep tales about you.
I did not expect to have tales about me, but I suppose everyone has a story of their own.
But between you and Master Hyun, you've done so many amazing and wonderful things. You are literally the incarnation of heroes.
Debatable, but sure.
Really? Why is it you debate what is simple fact?
Ross will rub the back of his head underneath his hat, and just say, "What I have done in this world, I have done for the good of those around me. I do not know if that is heroic, I've known that there are things that I should have done differently and things that I could do better.
She opens the book to a page and she starts to read. Rose did not know what it was that he faced, but all he knew was that that soul, trapped here for so long, ages and ages past, needed to be freed. It did not matter the morality, the right or the wrong of what had happened, the right or the wrong of the parents whom had treated it so badly, from the visions that had been shown. This house had become decrepit, decayed. It had become a sanctum to lost memories, and memories only of pain. This cycle needed to end. This cycle would be ended. He would see it so.
Roros will visibly blush and then reach down and take his soda and take a long drink of it.
And what about you, Master Hyun? She flicks through the book and she stops. Hyun has been in place so long; it's actually all blended together for me. What is a big adventure that Hyun has been in and has contributed significantly to?
It's a fair question. He did help out with the end to the chorister plot, where like a bunch of choristers got kidnapped and they changed their name, and there was that Inquisitor and shit.
Mhm.
There's also the stuff on the Leviathan that would probably work.
Okay. Which one, Leviathan 1 or Leviathan 2? You went the second time, didn't you? When it
I
was
think-
already crashed.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Striding over deck plating, it created an odd sound underneath his boot heels. However, Hyun knew that the only way to go was forward. He would not see so many defiled by the wills of so few. After all, it was this all-consuming need the technocrats had, this all-consuming desire that burned a hole not only in themselves but in their innermost morality. He could not let them succeed. He would not let them succeed, because if he did, humanity itself would be lesser for it, diminished in some way by their all-encompassing consumption.
Roros will give Hyun a big smile.
And you don't think you're heroes?
I think there's still stuff I need to make up for before I can call myself a hero.
Humility is oftentimes the sign of the greatest hero. But one of you is an oddity. She points a gloved hand directly at Cat. Hi, Cat. How's it going?
Kit.
Kit. It says Cat. My apologies. Oh, it's Kit. I'm dead. My brain is dead today. But she points a gloved hand at Kit.
Is it in a way that Kit would notice?
Yes.
She takes a moment. She literally has like the glass in hand with like a slightly translucent orange mix in it, and she's like halfway about ready to take a drink out of it, and she sees someone pointing at her, and she slowly lowers the glass down and looks at this person, staring them eye to eye, making eye contact, and then kind of shrugs up her shoulders in the sort of expression of, what?
You're the only one here whose story I don't know.
Well, I do have a LifeLock account.
She opens up her book, and as you look at the spine of her book, it says, your full proper name. So it says, Kathleen Milkovich. Is that how I'm pronouncing that? Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
On the spine, but she turns it round to you, and inside the book, you can tell that there were words. However, it's like when you look at old official documents, you just see so much of it has been redacted. So like entire page after page after page after page after page of it is gone.
That's that's peculiar. She'll get up and walk over, drink in hand.
My name is Anna, by the way.
Well, Anna, your book is an interesting one. I don't know whether I should be alarmed or thankful that my information, my story, as you say, isn't in there.
It is my duty to guard stories, so I'm slightly perturbed by the fact it's not there. For the record, she flicks to the to the page just before the redacted section. This is the last page of Kit's memory, to the point where you've described the last day to me of her returning home, etc., and then sudden darkness and oblivion, and then waking up. Basically, the book has that entire section missing. From that point to where you wake up and you count it, it's about 25 pages. So a huge chunk of the book, because this is a really large book. It's like the size of it's bigger than a laptop.
How much time passes between each page?
It depends. Certain times more than others. However, I can say that she turns the pages between each other. A year and a day is missing.
A year and a day.
Mm.
Interesting. I'm taking it that you're not just some ordinary Dizian of this city.
My name fully is Ananasi. I guard stories. I also tell them.
Um, can I roll?
Into cult.
Okay.
Theodis, would you like to join us here?
Yes. 4 successes.
Vinny, you know who this is from another character basis. You know exactly who that is.
Crosses her arms. The spider god from Africa, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of, in a manner of speaking. That's one of my faces. I'm called many things by different people. In Greece, they call me the Fates. Well, they think that there's more of me than there are. That's not necessarily true. And in the north, I'm called the Norns. I'm called many things.
Something I don't understand. Are you actually the being incarnate, or are you some sort of avatar?
I am me.
Her expression kind of takes on this almost like sly grin. Um,
Think about it
that's
like
not
this.
very.
She walks around behind you and she takes your hands in hers from being behind you. For the record, sometimes when people touch you, weird shit happens with your friendo. Nothing weird happens when she touches you. Um, she puts your hand. She basically puts your hand flat on the table and she presses down. She says, "This, this is where you are. This is this plane. Then above you, or below you, depending on your perspective, there's the Umbra and the Shadowlands. But then way up here, she puts her hand up. She says, "Here is the realm of celestial belief. Some people call it the High Umbra. People have different names for it. I come from there, but I'm more connected to people than a lot of my brothers and sisters up there, so I tend to spend most of my time here. But I was birthed based on the concept of human belief."
So, you're a spirit given agency by the consensus.
Yes and no. I am I am a fragment of human faith given sentience. Many people call us gods because we can wield incredible powers within our purview, but we only possess those powers because mankind believes that we do. For example, um, beg your pardon?
Huh? I didn't say anything.
Just when somebody said something like really low, like "hi."
Normal.
No, that was someone else.
Oh, hi, Bishop.
Nope, I didn't do anything.
Okay, but
Can I,
she
can
basically
I
she
roll perception this person though?
you can as you enter, for the record, because you haven't come in yet, or if you want to have been there for her explanation of the various different universes, you can be.
Sure. Funnily enough, conveniently, eye contact is one of my instruments. What's difficulty? If it's just like a coincidental effect with an instrument
It's
involved.
difficulty 4 because it's also narrative, or it's also a rank 1 effect.
It's really easy. I succeed.
Yeah, she's not there under Orsight.
Oh, this is a projection.
No. She is there, but what you're looking for is essentially an aura is it's a very kind of mortal construct. She doesn't possess one. If you were to look at her under Prime Sight, however.
I'll do that.
Okay.
And this is where Theodis goes blind.
Like a success.
Okay, you don't go blind. You basically have a moment where you like literally you look at her. You basically have to turn your head away because it's so bright. But it's an interesting kind of bright. It's basically a very bright. You almost see her for her true self in that moment of time, which is essentially a being composed of pure composite faith. There's no gender. There's no covering. There's no humanity. It's just it's the concentrated human faith that makes up her being.
Interesting.
Hello, Mr. Gray.
Good evening. As Theodis waddles on over. Literally waddles. He has a cane and he struggles to walk.
For the record, as I said, you will see the fact that her book that she has in front of her has Theodis Crane written on its spine.
Oh, lovely book. Surely nothing but kind words for me, I hope.
The book is honest. It records us as we are. Or rather, it records those whom are worthy of being recorded as they are. As I said, I keep stories. I don't necessarily keep everybody's stories.
At least I'm a main character, I suppose.
Yes. For example, I will not keep your story if you don't wish me to, like I did with Miss Ellsworth when I burned her book.
He just looks around for this Miss Ellsworth.
Darcy Ellsworth. I no longer know her. Her book is no longer mine.
Oh, interesting.
As he says that, it's almost like the shadows lengthen, and you almost feel like a hungry chittering in the darkness. It's really, really unusual and a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at the shadows. His eyes kind of leer towards the corner of the ground where the shadows are and raises a single eyebrow. He gives a rather confident look at them, like it's sort of this sort of how to say it, this curious confidence.
And then you have some like Douglas, who had themselves instrument of story, and my chosen and anointed champion.
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I know.
Rourke is going to offer Douglas a crisp high five.
Douglas will take that. I have no idea why we're doing this.
Russ will just be like, just trust me on this.
Have you had a character not been paying attention?
No, I have been. Don't worry. Douglas wasn't. I was.
Oh yes, since we have both Theotis and Shady here, I can do that. Theotis, your phone will vibrate.
Yeah, she'll take it out.
I will let Shady say what the text says, because I don't want
You would get a text that reads, "You gave me your number. What do you want?"
He just texts back. You have the other half of the seal. I may need it again one day.
She would text back, "Shall we meet up then?"
He just texts back. I suppose I'm surrounded by very interesting company at the moment.
He would get a text back, say, "Care to make it more interesting?"
By the way, Hyun, how's it going?
I'm doing alright.
Feel an interesting weight on your shoulders. But as you look up, you don't see anything. Continue.
I'd like to activate Prime Sight.
As you attempt to do magic, you feel something flick you on the top of the head, like, nope.
Hyun's going to ask the bartender for two ice cream cones, both stacked as high as he can get them, and he's just going to slide them very carefully down the bar to an open bar stool.
There's a really interesting mental image, for the record, because I think this is much funnier. As you take the ice cream in your hand, you start to feel something. Bear in mind, this is a supernatural bar. He manages to get 18 scoops, one on top of the other, right? So as you hold it, you feel something is eating from the top down until you gradually have to keep holding the cone ever so slightly higher.
No, he's not like holding them up. He's just like sliding them to an open bar, trying to get this thing that I'm pretty sure I know what it is to get the hint.
Oh, you will feel the weight disappear. If anyone is looking at the ice cream cones, you will see them very slowly be eaten.
Maurice is just going to raise an eyebrow and he's going to look at Nazir in Arabic. Do you see what's going on over there?
There's something going on over there.
You don't see the ice cream disappearing, do you?
No. There's ice cream.
I will look at the bartender and I'll say, please, will you give Nazir whatever ice cream he desires?
So, yes, but needless to say, if you gentlemen and ladies would like to do a quick scene flap, we are going to go and experiment with some of Lord Aishar's stuff. Because that's a great idea.
What? Wait, hold on, what?
Basically, I will let Theodos explain his plan.
Okay.
Bishop, fuck off.
I'm back. Sorry. What happened?
I'm saying, explain your plan to the remainder of the peoples, because who knows? Maybe here they might have the skills to get some answers to some questions you really want about a certain thing in your possession.
Hmm. Theodos will just put his phone away. We're just saying, I'm having a Tremere come down here.
Rose will just look at Theodos and then look at everybody else and look back at Theodos. You do know this place is operated by the Order of Hermes, correct?
Oh, does he not even know? I don't think he knows catches a Tremere.
She actually, in the scene, she did mention she was a Tremere and that the person that was
Yeah.
assassinated was her clanmate.
Oh, in which case. So
What's
that's
this about?
quite alright. I'm also Order of Hermes, and besides, it's to kill another Tremere, it'll be fine.
What's this about the Tremere and the Order of Hermes?
They're kind of castaways.
And it is known from what I have heard that the Tremere steal mages and turn them into vampires.
Not really anymore.
Nasty vampire magic.
That we know of.
I mean, I could fry her on a whim. It's not really a concern.
Well, I could too. Sunlight is a very interesting thing.
Oh, hey, I know you. He says, noticing Kyun.
Oh yeah, you were there. You were
Yeah.
there when it happened.
I didn't really think about that before I spoke. You okay?
He kind of looks down. Well, my neck does this weird noise, and he'll kind of like grab the side of his head. And just like
Don't do
you'll hear
that
a
again.
lot of very loud cracking and popping.
Do you want me to get Eliza to bolt that in place for you?
Nah, just based on his reaction to it, I should keep doing it, and he'll do it again the opposite way.
Rose is just kind of chuckling at this.
That's just nasty.
I'll stop. It's
Glad
actually
you still have a sense of humor. I feel weird all over now.
But needless to say, you may have to go elsewhere in order to get a Tremere, to talk to a Tremere.
A Tremere to talk to a Tremere. Wait, what? I'm only bringing one Tremere down here.
Into a place that is run by the head of the one house of the Order of Hermes that makes my people look, what's the word? Surreptitious.
Sigh. Fine.
I mean, come on. There's only one house of the Order of Hermes that makes Teftani magic look subtle. It's the Flambeau.
debatable. But
Lady Mothria is case in point of this, needless to say.
So, where would you arrange to meet the Katya?
I don't know, you can meet her at a university or something.
Okay. Mage road trip.
John, before they leave, will just kind of turn to the empty seat and say, "I'll be back in a little bit if you need to talk, or if you just kind of want to chill, whatever."
By the way,
Rose.
as you leave, you feel the weight on your shoulders again.
Oh, he's coming with. Okay.
Rose will look to Nazir. Do you wish to come with us, or do you wish to go back to the house?
I will return to the house.
Very well. Very well. If you would like, you can take the McLaren back. Or do you even need to drive? I sometimes forget that.
I don't require to drive.
Okay. Who wants shotgun in the McLaren? Yun?
I'll take it. Or my invisible friend can take it.
Just eyebrow raised at that. So he'll look at Theodos and say, "Where are we going? Because you're not meeting a Tremere alone."
Why do you have a skateboard if you've got a McLaren?
Because sometimes I need to go from the McLaren to other places.
I suppose that makes sense.
Sometimes I miss my Lotus though. And he'll walk out and he'll head over to the McLaren that's parked outside. It's a 570S. The only McLaren you can buy that's under $200,000. That's any type of good speed. And he will get in the front seat and put his stuff in the back.
Douglas, this is the only time you're ever going to get into a car this fancy. I just want you to know that.
I know, he's indulging.
All right,
Technically, I can fit 3 people in there, so that's good.
we do a screen wipe, kids. It is the interior of the outer wall of Trinity College. The moon has raised high into the sky as the mages troop in to this wonderful backdrop. There will be a single lone young woman standing, wearing a slightly singed pair of Louis Vuittons. Why are they singed? You'll never know unless you ask. But here you are.
Yes, she would be standing there, arms crossed.
And she'll see a McLaren 570S pull up and a 20-year-old Saudi Arabian kid, Emirati kid, get out of it, get on a skateboard, and then start skateboarding over.
I like to imagine we parked maybe 10 feet from her, and you got out of the car, got on the skateboard, skateboarded 10 feet, and then got off the skateboard.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how he rolls.
This is canon, yes.
And like feed the well-dressed young man in a tweed ass suit and the cane just gets up behind them and just starts twaddling on behind them.
Ah, the word toddle. It needs to be used more often in sentences.
And then
There is another car here, by the way. It is a massive stretch limousine parked out by the road.
Dear God, why?
Because that's the only car that would actually fit on the roads in Dublin. I doubt the Hummer would.
Why would you? What the? No!
Your resources 5 and you've only got 2 cars, one of which can't be operated on Irish roads.
To be fair, the other vehicle she owns is a yacht. So that's not exactly getting into the college.
Rose will just look at Hyun and say, and people say that I'm ostentatious.
That's mostly because you are.
Yeah, you are.
Could always get someone with pounds to carry the yacht into the college.
That's what
Let's
the port
not.
is for. So, you both have your respective halves of the seals with you.
Yep, Theodos just walks on over.
So, what is it you want to do with these?
Study them.
And I'm to believe you can do a better job than we can, given it's our magic being used.
Probably.
You're an arrogant one, aren't you?
Well, to be frank, I was several times more useful than you in the asylum, so yes.
Oh, could you have done what I did to that beast before it ripped us all apart?
I'd have just inverted its gravity.
I prefer the slightly more humane path of just putting him to sleep.
Hmm.
I mean, I could have stopped him from moving at all, but that's just me.
Yes, but this way he can go back to being what he once was.
Can he?
Once he recovers from whatever it was Ishar did to him.
Actually, I have a very interesting question, Evan. Because of the similarities involved, can I roll Nefandi law to get some sort of idea as to the effect that he was placed under?
Evan, do you exist?
I do.
I was going to ask you a very interesting question. Because of similarities involved, could I roll Nefandi law to not necessarily understand methodology, but understand the particular effect that the werewolf was placed under? What precisely Aisha did to him,
Did to whom, sorry?
did to the werewolf, to Jason's werewolf.
Yes, you can. Intelligence in the Fundy Law. Difficulty 7.
I have.
Can I roll that as well? Because I do have Nefandi lore as well.
Yes.
I
Well, no,
have
you didn't. Oh, yes, you saw it when you did Jason's Werewolf, so yes.
I get a success. God damn it.
He
I got a success as well.
he did something to do with the soul. With the soul.
So spirit magic, basically.
Yes, very, very dark shit.
Okay. Simply put, I believe with our combined efforts, we can unravel various secrets about the seal that you and I possess, and may, in fact, over time, discover a way on how to construct a new one, because it struck me as strange.
Well,
Why must there only be 7 seals? Why can there only be 7 seals? And if they're broken, can these seals not merely be replaced to even the count?
there remains one seal, and I believe we have a good idea of what it is.
And you are not protecting the seal. Why?
Because the seal is also trying to kill us.
Alright, what is the seal then?
No, it's something that would go above any of you.
I'm
Rude.
just kind of looks at Rara. Okay, can we make an agreement? If we don't get a straight answer in the next 5 seconds, she's on her own.
Agreed, yes.
Alright, cool. Continue.
I mean, I could probably destroy her ashes, and there's no point engaging in such pointless bravado. In any case, we need to know what the seal is, because we do really prefer this plane of existence and would rather not just shunt ourselves to another one.
The seal is something, or rather, I would say someone, but it's long since ceased being a human.
Okay.
So it's one of you.
In a manner of speaking.
From all around you, gentlemen, you hear the sound of what it sounds to be. You know that kind of. You know the sound of a bog, when it releases gas. It's kind of like very wet, kind of almost lingered, putrescent sounding, squelching noise, kind of, or chortle. You hear a laugh that sounds vaguely like that from all around you.
Oh, god damn it.
What is this person bringing with her?
I bring nothing with me.
You all will
What have
see.
you all gotten your heads into?
There we go. You all will see this woman. Who has slate black eyes.
At which point Katya would raise her gun.
I feel as
Roar.
though before I get into this little mini encounter for you all, I'm going to go get a drink. At which point I feel as though somebody might want to explain to Chris what happened at the last scene that we were in.
Please.
Okay, so Monique did a dumb. We were at the hotel. Hang on, sorry. They were checking on Katya because, staked. And we followed a thaumaturgical ritual that was affecting Ambrose to the park, in which was one of Aishar's childer performing a ritual. Monique's response to said ritual was to walk up into the middle of the big-ass fucking ritual circle and kick over the cauldron.
As you do.
I mean, that's one way to deal with the ritual.
Yeah, to complete the ritual and,
Change
fuck
the
everything
target.
up.
I mean, nobody said it was a very effective strategy, but
So potentially, yes, Monique had her soul punted out of her body to be replaced by something else.
Yeah, her soul got yeeted off to the fucking... Ah. Why?
Hey, Bishop, you have a very specific lore on your sheet that I'd like you to roll now.
Oh, it's that one.
As you look into its bottomless pits of jet black eyes.
I get 4 successes.
Is that Nefandi lore? Because I have it too.
No, that's not the Fondi lore. Bishop,
It-
this also triggers your derangement.
Guessing it's not High Umbra lore either.
So, how would you like this triggering to take place, Bishop?
Oh, this triggers my phobia.
Yes.
Ooh. That's bad because I can just create a whole ton of light. It will kill 2 vampires though.
Please don't kill me. I've almost died once this week.
My. The voice sounds like wet leather being stripped.
Just out of curiosity, does this sound familiar to anybody that's actually fought the Outsiders before?
If you've spoken to one, yes.
I can't remember if it was this character or Alazir that did, but
It was this character who did.
okay. Ross is like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. Is Charlotte one of his buddies in there?
Oh, yes.
Kit is going to make her way forward because I have a feeling.
Whoa.
I have a hunch.
What was that, sorry?
Kit is going to make her way forward and sort of prime things up underneath, just underneath the skin,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of interdict herself between the group and this being. And see if there's any sort of reaction from her familiar.
I will tell you right now, your familiar will not engage that because it feels like a friend.
Do I still feel that pressure on my shoulders?
You will, except, hang on. She is going to look at Kit, and she smiles, and there's that still gurgling laughter as she says the famous line, "So brave, are you a god?" At which point you simply hear a yeah. Hmm?
Oh, I thought you were done. Carry on.
No. You hear a kind of a chittering laugh. He says, "She might not be. However," and then you see this creature's skull. It basically you see half its skull shatter as the thing goes screeching to the left-hand side, impacting the wall.
Yeah, you notice
I, on
Carry
the
on.
other hand, make no such promises.
Oh, hey, it's the Monkey King.
Oh, thank God, I had a lot of questions for you.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, that's
I'm-
Samuk. He's the Monkey King.
That explains it.
Right. I don't know what let you in here, but you're not supposed to be here, kids. Or rather, you're not supposed to be here, friends, so I'm just going to take my group of teenagers with attitude and get the fuck out of here. Now, kids, on my mark, we're going to back up, back. Run the fuck away!
Rose is going to remote start the McLaren.
Oh, shit. You know what? The Monkey King picks up Theodus in the pristine notes fest.
My phobia is triggered. I am not competing.
You're not. You're kind of sobbing in a ball on the ground.
But didn't you roll willpower for phobia?
Do you?
Wait a second, I think you actually do. Let me find it. Because phobia is actually it's not a full arrangement. It's a separate flaw. It's like a mental flaw. Find it. What the hell? I think it's a book of secrets. Let me find it.
But you see the creature, by the way, as you guys, you see it, by the way, as you run away, you see it stand up, and its skull fixes itself with that same black e-core until the head is entirely fine.
Okay, yeah, seconding the Monkey King. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Kit is going to actually stand her ground.
Ah, shit. Kid,
Rose
I
is,
don't, you helped me get back together when I wasn't together, but this is not a fight that you really want to be in.
Not looking to fight. You go on. Get the rest of them to safety.
Well, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, basically, the phobia flaw is if I make a standard willpower check, and if I fail, I have to immediately flee.
Okay, make me a willpower check, difficulty 9.
Okay.
is somebody not leaving?
Kit is not leaving.
Rose will toss the keys to Hyun and start walking back towards where Kit is.
No successes, I run away, but Wukong's already doing that, so.
Yes, he is. He physically picks you up, so you can feel free to cry into his chest. So let me get this straight. Is Aurora's walking back to where Kit is?
Yeah, because there's somebody not leaving.
My. Who said the bravery was dead?
You're the first thing that we've responded to with any sort of familiarity. I'm not going to run away from that. At least not until I have some answers.
Very well then. We'll talk privately. I'm really sorry, Brett. As she does this, she snaps her fingers. For those of you who are watching, you see you can attempt to counter this. It will be difficult as hell. You see Rora's immolated in black flames. I'm going to roll some dice.
I'll try to counter it.
I am fleeing, so I'm.
What's the difficulty?
Hang on, get the whatchamacallit. To counter is always difficulty 7.
I'm burning 2 quintessence to lower difficulty plus.
You can't lower you can't lower the difficulty. It's not something that has difficulty lowered. It's always difficult.
I'm adding a willpower in then.
Okay.
Is there any way, Evan, that
2.
we could prevent any of that damage? Like essentially interposing a tentacle into the path of the flame.
If you are willing, okay. So Brett, you got 2 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes it got. So you would knock it down to 2, which would be okay. What I would be willing to do as a one-time only offer, that is 11 levels of aggravation damage. It will immediately incinerate Horus. I will let you take half of the damage, which will knock
Okay.
you. Which will hang on. Is that sufficient? Yeah, no, 11 is just. I will let you take half of the damage, and in exchange, you'll both stay standing. Well, no, you won't be
Okay.
standing. You'll be in a puddle on the floor, but you'll both be alive.
Can I spread half of that damage between us?
Between you two, no. Because
No,
it,
between the entity and Kit.
between what entity?
Her entity.
Oh, no, because
Familiar.
it wasn't out at the time.
Okay.
So you would have to Kit would have to take the full whammy. If you're willing to do that, Roros will survive. If you're not, he will fry.
Yeah, she'll do that.
Cool. So Roros, what happens is black flame washes over you, almost like a flamethrower, basically from the hand. This feels wrong on every level it is humanly possible to feel. It blackens your skin. I'd like you to please make me a willpower roll, difficulty 8.
Let's see. That is 3 successes.
Okay, you managed to stave off the rampant mutation and other horrible side effects that would have been coming. However, then Kit steps in your way. You know that if she had not stepped in to interpose herself between you and the flame, you would be a dead man.
Why do you stay?
She'll look up at the being that attacked him. Leave them out of it. She says, like through just a raspy, pain-filled breath, as she is doing everything she can to try and keep her consciousness going between like invoking part of her familiar and releasing it to kind of go between the two, go between like ow and ow, basically, to kind of like pass the torch of God, this hurts.
Run home, little hero. Let me speak to my kin in peace, and consider this a welcome reprieve before I send you screaming to the void.
Go. If it wanted me dead, it would have killed me by now. But it'll definitely kill you.
Roros will simply turn and walk to his car.
But what will actually happen more aptly is Roros will walk towards his car, at which point he gets there, and he will literally fall in through the back door because you just took a metric crapload of damage.
Yeah. So it's up to Hyun to drive away now.
Guess who has no dots to drive, y'all? Hope we don't have a tasting.
He's driving a supercar, everybody.
So, Hyun, roll me your dex drive.
I mean, they could get in Katch's car, but
I mean, okay, yes, let's get in the stretch limo because that's so much cooler.
that and she's got a driver.
Roris's car.
I mean,
Or he-
Roros loses a lot of cars. It's fine.
But he's also already there.
Shh. We're in the limo now. Shh. But Kit, I tell you what we're gonna do is you and I are gonna do a separate scene at some point where you have this conversation.
Absolutely. Answers come at a price.
But yes, the Monkey King is sitting in the car. He has found the minibar. He's pretty happy. Does Katya attempt to stop the pillaging of the minibar?
No, she can just refill it. I hope you're enjoying yourself. You did
Yep.
save us back there.
You know, for an undead Gaki, you have pretty decent taste in whiskey. Ooh, yeah, I like this one. This is a good one.
She would grab something for herself and
But by the way, Theodis, or rather Chris, because I see you have to go. If you want to ask the Monkey King questions, now is a good time. Ultimately, our greatest test is not necessarily facing our fears. It is understanding that we possess our fears. So when the time comes to face them, we may not necessarily master them, but overcome them.
Yes, that thing scares the hell out of me now. If I could ask a question in relation to perhaps overcoming it at some point.
Yes.
I wish to construct another seal. How would I go about doing that?
You want to build a seal?
Katya would hold up the other half of the seal as she pulls it out of her bag.
He takes it with his tail.
Reality has an odd way of writing itself, as we both know, and currently 6 seals are broken, which means there are 6 free slots.
No. You don't understand. Okay, when we say the seals, it's like 6 pieces to unlock a door. That's more apt. Essentially, each seal broken is another key. You get me?
So how do I complicate the lock?
Hmm?
If each seal is a key to 7 locks, then how do I create more locks?
You can't create more locks. These are all based on ancient agreements between between higher beings and lower beings, beings that were there when the cosmos was shaped and formed. However, what you can do to complicate it is ultimately each seal is only broken when it is that the virtue that the seal represents is trounced or stood upon. So in this particular case, the 7 virtues that were originally created were chastity, temperance, charity, diligence, patience, kindness, and humility. These were the great anchors of the human soul, the ones that would allow you to enter the realm of the august personage of Jade. Essentially, each one of these has to be broken by an incredible example to the contrary, wherein it allows the boundaries between the two places to be weakened to the point that they can be pried open. You get what I mean?
Right.
So, at the moment, only one seal remains.
And it's based on the life of this vampire.
No. These are old rules that predate the curse of, well, that guy. On a side note, he's also a dick.
Russ is going to look over. Oh wait, Russ is basically they're trying to figure out how he keeps getting caught on fire.
Well, I was just, please forgive me, but I was just recently told that killing this individual would break the 7th seal.
Killing one individual.
This vampire that I know I got your name. It points to Katya.
Katya.
Katya, yes. You said that killing this vampire would break the 7th seal or something.
No, the 7th seal has yet to be created, so it can be broken. It is yet to be called forth. The person who's been breaking the seals has been doing so because humanity has let him break the seals through their own wanton power lust, their own ability to turn away from the plan, their own ability to not listen to themselves. He's used humanity's free will to actively condemn it, to in every step, in every breath, in every pathway, damn themselves.
He did say he couldn't break the seals without interference from others.
He can't. The one who summons the seal cannot break it. Only others can break the seals. So, unfortunately, Mr. Crane, you snapped one of them without realizing what you were doing.
Roros will lick his lips. Can I ask you a question, Monkey King,
Yes,
sir?
yes, there's cream soda in here. He'll hand you a cream soda.
He'll take the cream soda and take a drink. Can I ask you another question?
Yes.
If I had used my magic to turn the seal to liquid without breaking it, would that have gotten it away from him?
No. That would have broken the physical form of the seal. The seal would have snapped. Ultimately, the entity who calls it forth has to do so in such a ritual that blasphemes against the virtue that it breaks the seal itself incarnate. So, for example, the last seal that remains is the seal of humility. Only a true act of pride, a true act of hubris, a true act that shows humanity's innermost worst, because humanity's sin has oftentimes been pride, will shatter that seal. Then, with all seven broken, the doorway opens, and what was outside can come in. What was there, the thing that is in that vampire's body, that is just a shard of a true horror.
I know I've met one before.
That was another point in time whereby a door was almost open. Fortunately, it was not open completely.
The problem that I see is that the way that we stopped it that time, I don't think will work again.
Hmm.
I pulled a Chris Pratt.
Katja would just look at him upon the mention of Chris Pratt in utter confusion.
So,
Dance off to save the universe. And he'll take another sip of his cream soda.
tell me about this vampire catcher.
Mm. It's from I suppose you could call us factions. It is from one that does not keep secrets the way we do. Does not protect our true nature. They embrace the monster.
But what about them in particular?
It is incredibly powerful. From the accounts I've been given, it brought magma up from the floor.
Didn't know you could do that.
That's pretty metal.
I've heard of archmages that could do such things, but not without.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Oh, yes, that makes sense.
Rose is going to look over at the Monkey King. This thing is an archmage?
No. The seal has already been formed, and it's been taken by this person, and killing him will be an act of pride and hubris that will snap the seal.
Damn it.
Particularly if he's killed for a reason above and beyond simply stopping him. If he's killed by someone who lusts for power in their heart, who is willing to put everything else on, who is willing to murder for their own advancement, that is the living incarnation of pride.
Katja's
Rose is
eyes
going
would
to
just
look
go
at Katya.
wide.
So you're telling me that Francis needs to kill him?
No, Francis can honestly not say that he didn't do it for some thought or wish of advancement.
Rose is going to look at the Monkey King. Is there a way we can simply just send this person to another planet?
I mean, I like Jupiter.
It's a big gas bag. Sounds like this person.
I need to think of a way around this.
I'll
From
put
an
it
out of
this way.
Actually, to put it from an out of character perspective, just to fucking contrive with Bishop, somebody like a Neriel, if a Neriel was to kill this was to kill the Archbishop, the seal couldn't activate because he has genuine no thought for his own advancement and power because his road can't let him do anything for hubris.
So
But
Could Evelyn feasibly do this? Because, she's not looking for her own advancement. She's looking for revenge for a certain other salubri.
I mean, Evelyn would also probably be turned to mush.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, she would be like 900 years old.
But
I could
yeah.
do it. I don't know this person, I don't care about them. I'd be killing them only to stop them, and to stop Aisha, that would only be the purpose.
Then Aishar takes the seal and he tries all over again with another person in another place. Ultimately, he is the cancer. If you stop him, if you kill him, then all of the various different essences of the gates that he has unlocked disperse. But to do that, he has to die. Not only does he have to die, that fetid, rotten thing that he calls a soul needs to never return to his masters to be remade into a new body. Because, oh yeah, kids, they can do that.
I might have something that we could ask precisely how to do that.
Gilgal. Would that even work on a vampire?
Gilgal is to destroy the soul, so maybe. It's ironic.
Rose will look over to you and...
Hi guys, I'm going to ask everyone who's at the auction to make me a raw intelligence roll.
Ian was technically there.
I have the astute specialty.
He was. If anyone has eidetic memory, let me know.
Does analytical apply for this?
Yes.
I have the astute specialty.
I know one person with the eidetic memory merit that was at the auction.
You're not here.
I know.
Silence, Douglas. No one loves you.
What was the difficulty again?
It's going to be difficulty 7.
Okay. Well, I got 1 successes because that 1 success to that 10 doubled.
Okay. Anyone else?
I got a 10, a 7, 1, 9, and a 3. So
Theodos gets it. 10 out of 10. Theodos. It was going to be a threshold of 2 successes for the record. Theodos, darling Theodos. You were talking about the destruction of something that is composed entirely of evil. What is its anathema?
well, the anathema of evil would be pure goodness.
And what is pure goodness?
True love.
That might be enough to shatter Aishar's soul.
Fuck. Who's got that?
Who got that, by the way?
Christina. Lindsay's mate, Christina, got it.
Well, I know who I'm booking a meeting with. Like, the only other way to do that would be to use Spirit and Mind 5 to literally...
No. Hi guys, Tiger, because you can probably remember this quicker than I can. What are the spheres needed to Gilgal a motherfucker?
No, I mean like convert the essence of something to true love.
No. True love is a complicated little piece of shit. Also,
You're talking about a raw concept, so that takes entropy 5. Then you're also gonna need spirit 5 if you're fucking around something spirit. You'll probably need prime 5 because this is gonna take a fuck ton. There's probably more that you'll need, maybe mind.
I was gonna say, then again, what entropy at 5 create is a raw concept, yes. However, if true love is forced, is it true love? Does it have the same metaphysical oomph? You wouldn't know. It might do. But there is supposedly a vial of it sitting somewhere on a shelf.
If we had a 6 on this. If I choose the embodiment of all of these negative concepts, there is one positive concept that could potentially sunder it.
So I think, kids, with that in mind, we can end the scene. Because we have all of unless anyone else has any questions for me to pose.
Mm,
Nope,
Not
Katya
really.
would take everybody home.
Because I've been running shit non-stop for 9 hours.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just
We
chill
love
out
you,
with
Evan.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for playing. Thank you for watching this another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Ladies and gentlemen, have a pleasant evening.